I'm making this slideshow into a YouTube video and you can't do anything to stop me. Wait, no. These two inbred-looking folks are Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, who were two high school seniors from the Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. They both had a lot of mental issues, and being constantly bullied at school didn't help. But many people who knew them described them as being really close, kinda nerdy into computers, and having severe anger issues. But here's the thing. They saw themselves as gods. Yeah, they saw everyone else around them as less intelligent, inferior beings with no self-awareness. They would call them zombies. Yeah, these two had a severe case of main character syndrome and thought everyone else around them were NPCs. And they wanted to get revenge for tormenting them all their lives. They wrote all their feelings about this in their journals. They also filmed a series of videos explaining why they were planning the shooting and how others should do what they were about to do too. They treated the event like it would be some stupid game and said how their ghosts would haunt the survivors. These tapes were referred to as the basement tapes by investigators of the shooting since they were found in Dylan's basement. But they have never been released to the public since the FBI believes that the tapes would inspire others to commit similar acts as they did. But transcripts and testimonies of people who saw the tapes do exist. On April 20th, 1999, both Eric and Dylan walked into the school during lunch with guns and self-made bombs. They threw one of the bombs into the cafeteria, but thankfully, both of them suck at making bombs, so it partially exploded, only letting smoke out. Many students watching thought this was going to be a senior prank. But unfortunately though, this is when the actual shooting started. They also put several other bags of bombs around the school. But again, since Eric and Dylan suck at making bombs, they didn't explode. They went outside near the entrance and shot a couple students having lunch, killing them, and injuring one of them in the process. They reloaded their guns and pointed down the staircase, where there were two students about to walk up. They thought that the guns were paintball guns, so they weren't that worried. That was until they got fired at. Two of them got injured and the third was killed. That was when one of the teachers at the school heard the gunshots and urged the students in the cafeteria to evacuate. When the two shooters walked into the cafeteria, they killed another student, all while at the same time shooting it like it was some corny action movie. One of the injured students was screaming for help and Dylan walked up to him and said, "Sure, I'll help," then proceeded to shoot him. Like, bro, you are not James Bond, you will never be James Bond. After all that happened, one of the custodians proceeded to call the police for help. When the police got there, Eric shot a couple bullets at the police officer, and the police officer fired back as well, but none of them got injured. When more officers arrived, they urged the students to hide underneath the cafeteria tables, then evacuate them. They were all moved to the library to hide. But unfortunately, the shooters got there soon after. They proceeded to injure and kill several more people inside there. They tried to start a fire inside one of the empty storage closets in the library, then momentarily left to check their bombs to see if they would detonate. When they weren't able to, they just kinda walked around the school until eventually returning to the library, where Eric and Dylan both shot themselves, ending the massacre, with 12 students and 1 teacher killed and 21 injured people. Oh boy, the aftermath. Many things got blamed for this event, like bullying, video games, and music. Specifically the video game Doom, since it was Eric's favorite game. He would even make levels in the game, one of which was rumored to be a recreation of his high school. The German electro-punk band called KMFDM also got blamed for the massacre, since they were the two's favorite band. They even got called a Nazi band by certain news publications. Marilyn Manson also got blamed for it, but he wasn't targeted as much as the previous two.
Marilyn Manson?
Yes, it is my professional opinion as a rock star and a licensed doctor that this student is suffering from malnutrition.
Speaking of the news, the media ate this story up. Every news publication was talking about the massacre. They even made several covers of Time magazine. They kinda gave Eric and Dylan what they wanted in the end, which was attention. The tragedy also inspired several other pieces of media, including video games, one of which was Pico's School, where a student named Pico stops a group of goths from committing a school shooting. It was made to make fun of how the media treated the massacre.
Don't you have a school to shoot up?
Another game that was inspired by it was Super Columbine Massacre RPG, where you play as Eric and Dylan themselves committing the massacre, and then going to hell, eventually trying to kill Satan. This game was made in really bad taste. It tries to make you feel bad for killing the students, but the hell part of the game requires you to kill all of the school, so what was even the point? Literally, Undertale does a better job at making you feel bad for killing the characters. So yeah, this game sucks and it was really disrespectful. Other things that were inspired by the massacre were movies like Zero Day, a film in the found footage genre where two students taped their plans to shoot up and bomb their school, codenamed Zero Day.
You can get it from any video games, books, movies, CDs. This was our idea, and nobody else's.
It also inspired the terrible movie I'm Not Ashamed that my parents made me watch when I was 9, based on a debunked myth about a girl who gets killed by the shooter after being asked if she believes in God.
Rachel, where's your God now? What would Jesus do?
The event also unfortunately caused other troubled teens to commit similar atrocities, wanting to get the similar infamy and attention that they had. By the way, if you just want attention, you don't need to kill people. Just start dancing in the middle of the cafeteria and let other people record you. Schools also became way more strict and paranoid about what their students did, which is why many schools have armed guards and metal detectors to stop people from bringing weapons into class. It's also the reason why our spring rally got cancelled last year, and why that one kid got suspended for biting a pop-tart into the shape of a gun. The end.